The darkness is your ally.
So many happy faces!
What is up, everybody? I'm of course the one, the only, the Joker of Yu-Gi-Oh! Representative Legion, and today I'm coming to you guys to talk about my first ever LLDS experience. This is the first LLDS tournament I've ever gone to. For you guys that don't know, this means Local Legend Duelist Series. It was the first one I've ever gone to. This was actually taking place at my local GameTraders Salisbury. This is the only place I like dueling a lot of the time. The only other place is somewhere in the city if they have something big. But I'll get into why I bring that up in a minute. But guys, I went to my local GameTraders Salisbury because they were having their LLDS tournament going on. I had to try my hardest. I went in rocking my Joker deck box, my Joker jacket, my Joker ring, even my Joker Field Center, Joker playmat, everything's Joker with me. But I went in, and I had already known that they had their Marion one that's already gone past, their Gawler one. There was one at Good Game in the city. I don't know if there was other places, because those are the only places that I was informed about a lot. Like, if I can't go there, I don't really care about getting a lot of the information. The only one I ever care about information for is the two I can go to, which of course is Good Game in the city sometimes, and GameTraders Salisbury, which is the only place I do like dueling a lot of the time, because the atmosphere, the people there, it's always absolutely great. So I went there, playing my Trickstar deck, and there were 5 rounds for this, and one of my rounds was actually against a invoked deck that had Mech Knights. That was annoying as hell to face. It also had some Trickstars in it, but it had mainly invoked that kept on going off, Mech Knights that were being absolutely annoying. It was an annoying deck, but in the end I did actually end up beating it. Now I didn't record any of these duels for 2 reasons. One, I'm really sorry, but because we only had 40 minutes and, because of the time rule, it doesn't give us an extra 3 turns. It was as soon as that time is called, whoever's got the most life points wins. So I was really worried about that, so I thought, you know what, it's better not to record and try and, focus more on winning than it is to try and record, lose, possibly, and, not go to the next stage. So that's why I didn't record, guys. Plus, there wasn't enough room on a lot of the tables to be able to have my whole setup, so I'm once again sorry about that. But guys, either way, I'm going to talk to you guys about that either way right now, because that's what this video is about. This is my first ever LLDS experience, but I don't want to go on about it too much. I want to try and sum up everything as much as I possibly can, as quick as I possibly can, because it truly was an excellent experience, and I didn't think, I would ever get to go to one. It was lucky enough that I got the time off work to be able to go to it, so that was just an absolute pleasure to be able to go. But I went there, and of course, as I said, one of the duels I had to verse was invoked with Mech Knights. That actually came down to time in the very end. My opponent was on 200 life points. All I needed was a bloody Lycaris or a Candina to search into my Lilybell or something, or just get the Lilybell. But no, every single hand was just defense. Like, I had a few draws, I had some ashes, but then 3 cards were chain summoning, so he got me down to 3200 life points, and got him down to 200. So I did actually end up winning that because of time, but if I had got my next card, I would have, popped him. Then because there was 5 rounds, guys, my other 3 rounds was straight up Trickstar Sky Strikers. It was basically everyone I had to verse that was topping a lot was Trickstar Sky Strikers. And I was going from table 1 to table 3 to table 3, table 3, and then, just going around that particular area. So I did know that I was doing really, really well, because note that if you're like between table 1 and 8 during your first 2 rounds, then yeah, you're staying really good. If you're still there by round 3, you're still doing really well, but then if you drop kind of thing, you might not be able to pick yourself up. But that's still envious and hesitant on that. Depends on how your tournaments are working. But with that being said, I had to verse 3 Trickstar Sky Striker decks. I bet every single one with my Trickstar deck that was just chain summoning Drolls in that, and Scapegoat resolved once. So that was absolutely insane. So I won 4 rounds right off the bat. 5th round, though, came up. I had to verse someone that, it's one of my biggest opponents. I don't want to bring up his name, because, I don't want to say anybody's name when they don't like to be said. But him and a few other guys are the only guys I really, really don't mind losing to, because they're always the same people I lose to. So when it came to versing him, I did do a play that I shouldn't have. Ruling came out like it was the whole nightmare combo. I set something, drew, and because technically I set and then I continued to play, I shouldn't have been able to drew, and then I've gone past that when I should have stopped, and when the judge came over, it was already too late. You know, too much had happened, so I did get the loss on that. But it teaches me a valuable lesson of, like, you know, make sure that you don't miss one thing. You can't go back in, you know, because I thought it was mandatory for the draw, so it didn't matter when I draw. My opponent would be cool with it, but, you know, either way, you know, you gotta stick to the rules. It's as simple as that. I stuff up sometimes, but, you know, I admitted, like, whatever the judge calls, I'm gonna be cool with it. I ended up losing that, though. But when the time came that it was top 4, either way, I did actually win. So I got the mouse pad. That's like the mouse pad that you get at top 4. You also get 3 packs, and I got to play it off for, you know, the other packs. But as soon as I got there, like, I got annihilated. I just bricked too heavy. It was like all my good luck from the games before ended up losing. But either way, I got the LLDS mousepad, which is basically just going to stay on my desk as like a memento. Same with, like, you know, how the World Championship card stays in my deck box as a memento of, like, I've gone to these things, I've won. It doesn't matter how expensive your deck is. Like, yeah, I do have Ashes and I have Regeki, but I don't have, like, the engages that everyone else had. So being able to win was an absolute amazing experience. I didn't think I was going to able to win. Honestly, I was stressing the night before. I was thinking, you know, my deck may be good, but I don't think it's as good as everyone else's, because they're going to go in with their really high-end expensive decks. They're going to obliterate me, but it turned out, no, I got the luck, and I got the better hands, and they bricked a lot more than I ever did. So it just went to show that, you know, regardless what deck you're playing, yeah, it might be low tier or it might be a high tier. It also depends on the hands that you're drawing. Just keep that in mind and never give up, guys. That's, you know, I was about to give up a few times because I was like, nah, I'm going to get annihilated. But I stuck it out and I ended up winning, which was absolutely amazing. So yes, I did come top 4, which means I get my invitation to regionals, guys. I'm going to be going to the regional tournament. I'm super excited about that. That's going to be happening in November. I am allowed to change up my deck, so I don't have to play the exact same deck that, you know, I used in this one. And that being said, though, I did actually finally, because of a good mate at GameTrader Salisbury, Paul, who did the Trickstar Windwitch deck once before, I was able to get a Firewall Dragon, so I'm so happy I finally got one. It looks absolutely beautiful. But I finally got the Megatin print, so I'm really happy about that. I did actually also get his deck list for his Trickstar Sky Striker. He came 6th or 7th place, but then when it came to the top 8 to try and figure out who's getting a lot more of the packs, because it ended up being like at GameTrader Salisbury, where you had that many packs left over, that whoever came 1st, 2nd, and 3rd and all that, they would get so many packs, and Paul actually came out on top of that. So if you guys want to see that deck profile, like, I have the deck list and I'm happy to showcase it a different way, but if you guys want to see that, make sure to comment down below and I'll be happy to show you guys that. Or if you guys would prefer me to have Paul back on the channel, it might be a while because I'm not going to next week's tournament for reasons I don't want to actually say. Let's just say I'm going to a party. Yeah, I'm going to be partying, guys, just having some fun. And then working the next day, so I don't have time to unfortunately go to the tournament. I'm really sorry about that, but I was absolutely excited to go to this one. I'm even more excited to go to the regional one. I can't wait for that one to come up. But guys, honestly, I just wanted to tell you guys my personal experience. Like, if you guys want to see my deck profile, there are a few things I'm getting changed. So before the regional one, I do want to get a few other cards. But when I get those cards, I'll be happy to show you guys the deck profile of that one updated. It's basically the one that I was running last time, and it ended up working really, really well, of course, because I got top 4. So yeah, guys, it was an absolute amazing experience. Honestly, I would love to do it again. Meeting some of you guys there, because there were actually a few of you guys that know me from my channel, and you guys were an absolute pleasure to trade with. I actually got a few of your cards, and it's just absolutely amazing. They're actually in my folder, and it's an absolute pleasure. So yeah, guys, I just want to say thank you for everyone that wanted to listen to my, you know, little story of my first ever LLDS experience. It was pretty much just recapping the decks that I had to verse. You know, my main combos were, of course, the Scapegoat, Chain Summoning, and I drolled a few people basically every other game. So yeah, it was really an amazing experience, and I would love to do it again, guys. But of course, guys, that's it for my little story, talking about like what happened to LLDS, preparing you guys that, you know, when regional comes up, I'm going to be going to that. I'm going to make sure I can. Honestly, I'm really excited about that. That's going to be happening in November, so as long as it's not on the 3rd, or, you know, like the 3rd, 4th, or 5th, I'm definitely going, because around that time is actually Supernova, and I really want to go to that because there's a few people I really want to get signatures off of. But yeah, guys, either way, honestly, I'm excited for my next step, and hopefully you guys are too, to hear my next story on all this. As always, guys, if you want to see deck profiles or anything like that, comment down below. And you know, I'm trying to keep chill because I do want to make this a more serious video, even though my phone case is literally, why so serious? But yeah, guys, honestly, I just want to take a deep breath sometimes and really remember, like, I've come so far. It's thanks to you guys for all the motivation, thanks to you guys that have supported the channel in the way of actually sending me things that have actually helped with my deck profiles and my duel videos and everything else. You guys have been absolutely amazing. So I do want to say a big thank you to you guys. And that's why I always say, like, if there's anything you guys want to see, comment down below and I'm happy to make it, because I want to help you guys as much as you guys always help me. But of course, guys, that ends it for this video. As always, hope you guys did enjoy it. Keep on smiling. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give this video a big thumbs up. But at the end of the day, honestly, my biggest thing that I always say is just keep on smiling. Enjoy the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Whatever TCG you play. And that, of course, ends it for me, the one, the only, the Joker of Yu-Gi-Oh! Representing the Legion. See you next time, everybody.